Hi, it's Christina with the Sisyphean Journal. Today's April 1st, and I have already covered the two anniversaries I have for today, and you can follow the links below whether you're watching on YouTube or Rumble. One was a self-induced abortion death. Another one we can blame on the fact that the legalization fairy had not sprinkled her magic safety dust. This woman was one of 6 women in a string of deaths by an Oklahoma doctor. And again, it's not because there weren't antibiotics yet. It's not because there weren't blood transfusions yet. Purely 100% because of the law. Because we know that when the legalization fairy sprinkled her magic dust, women stopped dying just like that. Yeah, and I got a bridge in Brooklyn to sell you. But today, what I want to talk about is on Life News. If you're on Rumble, you can follow the link to the story on Life News. If you're not, you're just going to have to Google it. Go to lifenews.com. But Planned Parenthood in Missouri is suing, saying that they have every right to sneak underage girls out of state for secret abortions. Yeah, abortions behind their parents' back. And I mean, completely aside from the fact that they are interfering in child custody, there's the fact that they are endangering these girls. Even the Centers for Disease Control noted that teenage girls who have secret abortions suffer much more catastrophic side effects, complications, than teenagers whose parents know about the abortion. And if you stop and think about this for a minute, it's pretty obvious why. If the parents know about the abortion and afterwards she has a fever, she has pain, she's concerned that she's bleeding an awful lot, she can go to her parents because they already know about the abortion and they'll take her right away for medical care. But if she's keeping it a secret, she's going to keep these complications a secret, and it's going to just keep piling up and getting worse and worse and worse and worse until it becomes catastrophic and she can't keep it a secret anymore. So they're endangering these girls, but they don't care. Now, I have 3 examples of secret abortions that proved fatal to teenage girls, and I don't think the secrecy in these cases was a factor in the death, other than the abortion probably wouldn't have happened and the girl would have been okay if somebody hadn't decided to step into the parental role. But, you know, it just shows that the legalization fairy's magic dust doesn't always work, does it? One of these deaths was a 16-year-old girl named Erica. Her aunt brought her to Dr. Jean Crawford behind her parents' back. And she reported that Crawford left Erica unattended and bleeding for 4 hours after the abortion. It was 11 p.m. before he carried her out to the car and told her aunt to take her home and put her to bed. Now, Erica's aunt was a nurse, and she took one look at her niece and, I'm not taking her home, took her to a hospital. Unfortunately, that 4-hour delay cost this girl her life. She died of an embolism shortly after midnight. Her uterus and cervix had been punctured during the abortion. And this guy's ready to just send her home, put her to bed, no problem. And we're supposed to believe that the legalization fairy makes everything good. Then we have a case where a 15-year-old sex abuse victim named Tamia was brought for an abortion by her abuser's sister. And Tamia was so far advanced in her pregnancy that other abortion clinics in the area were turning her away, and one even offered her a prescription for prenatal vitamins. But National Abortion Federation member Abraham Alberto Hodari, darling of Medical Students for Choice, he actually told Medical Students for Choice that he had a license to lie, that he could tell the patient whatever he felt he needed to in order to get her to make the choice he thought was best. So this girl is being brought in by her abuser's sister for a late abortion. And on the first day, Hodari inserted the laminaria, those little seaweed sticks to dilate the cervix. And when Tamia got home, she changed her mind about the abortion, and she told her mother what was happening. Her mother took her back to Hodari's clinic the next day, saying that they wanted the laminaria out. Tamia wanted to have her baby. And Mr. License to Lie told Tamia and her mother that he couldn't do that, that she would die if he tried to stop the abortion. And that's not true. Women get the laminaria removed all the time. and they might deliver early, but it's not going to cause them any more problems than the abortion itself would have caused. In fact, less, because you're not reaching in with instruments and poking around and putting holes in her uterus, which is pretty much what Hodari did to Tamia. She bled to death from this abortion that she was told she had to go through with or she'd die. And then the last one, Dawn was only 13 years old. Both of her parents were pastors. When she found out she was pregnant, she told somebody at school, and instead of doing what they should have done and letting her parents know what was happening so they could stand by their daughter, the school arranged a secret abortion at a National Abortion Federation member clinic, Eastern Women's Center, behind her parents' back. And the counselor wrote that Dawn was so scared that she needed to be treated with tender, loving care. That's not what she got. Alan Klein did her abortion, and she started to choke during the abortion because they didn't give her enough anesthesia to keep her under. So they just stuck a breathing tube in and left her. And when they came back and checked on her, she was in a coma. And it wasn't until she got to the hospital that somebody thought to call her parents. Her mother said that the hospital called saying that she was fighting for her life. And she said, I was going, how can she be fighting for her life? She left for school this morning, healthy, never been sick. Yeah, because she didn't know about the abortion. And Dawn's mother said that when she was in the hospital, I had to keep my hand pressed over my mouth to keep from screaming in horror. I kept telling myself, this is all a bad dream. I'm going to wake up and this will not have happened. But it had happened, and the family sat by her bedside and did everything they could to coax her back, but she died without ever regaining consciousness. So, oh, and Hodari and Eastern Women's Center, these weren't their only dead patients. The legalization fairy really was doing a lax job with some of these National Abortion Federation members. So, pro-choicers, you need to look at what they do, not what they say. The safety of the patients is really pretty low on their list of priorities. And this Planned Parenthood wanting to sneak girls out of state for abortions behind their parents' back, that's politics and money. That's got nothing to do with what's best for these kids.